Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they think too small. The day you raise your thinking is the day your life stops negotiating with limits. Think bigger or stay where you are. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never give their mind permission to expand. They live inside invisible walls, walls built from old conversations, from quiet doubts, from what they were told was realistic. And without realizing it, they shrink their future to match their fear. But here's the truth most people never hear. Your life will never rise higher than the size of your thinking. You can work harder. You can stay busy. You can exhaust yourself trying to prove something to the world. But if your thinking stays small, your results will always feel heavy. The world does not reward effort alone. It rewards direction. And direction is born in the mind long before it shows up in action. Every great shift in history started as a thought that felt uncomfortable. When Thomas Edison imagined lighting the world without fire, people laughed. When Henry Ford imagined a car for the common man, experts said it was impossible. When Walt Disney imagined a mouse becoming an empire, banks shut their doors on him. They were not special because they were smarter. They were special because they refused to think inside the limits of their time. Most people never even try to think bigger, because thinking bigger forces you to confront who you've been pretending to be. It forces you to ask dangerous questions. Questions like, what if I'm capable of more? What if my current life is not my ceiling, but my comfort zone? What if staying where I am is actually the risk? Small thinking feels safe. It feels responsible. It feels logical. But small thinking slowly suffocates ambition. You don't wake up one day and decide to settle. You settle quietly, one excuse at a time, one delayed decision at a time, one ignored instinct at a time. You tell yourself, now is not the right time. You say, I'll think bigger later. You convince yourself that dreaming too much is childish. And without noticing, years pass and your potential stays untouched. Thinking bigger is not about arrogance. It's not about fantasy. It's about alignment. It's about aligning your inner vision with what your soul already knows. Because deep down, you already feel it. That discomfort when you play small, that restlessness when you repeat the same routine, that quiet frustration when you see others doing what you secretly want to do. That's not jealousy, that's recognition. Your mind is responding to a possibility it hasn't allowed itself to explore yet. Dale Carnegie understood this long before the world talked about mindset. He knew that confidence, influence, and success are not skills you add, they are identities you grow into. And identity always begins with belief. If you believe your role is limited, you'll behave accordingly. If you believe you are meant to contribute more, your actions will start demanding growth from you. The moment you think bigger, pressure appears, doubt appears, resistance appears. That's how you know you're on the edge of transformation. Because growth always feels unfamiliar before it feels natural. Your mind will try to protect you. It will remind you of past failures. It will show you statistics. It will bring up opinions of people who never tried. But your future does not live in statistics. It lives in decisions. And one decision changes everything. The decision to no longer negotiate with small thinking. When you think bigger, you stop asking, what can I get away with? And you start asking, what would the strongest version of me do here? That question changes your posture, your tone, your discipline. You stop chasing approval. You stop waiting for permission. You stop shrinking your voice to make others comfortable.
You begin to move with quiet authority, not because you know everything, but because you trust your ability to figure things out. Thinking bigger doesn't mean the path becomes easy. It means the path becomes worth it. Because now every sacrifice has meaning, every early morning has purpose, every difficult decision has direction. You're no longer working just to survive, you're building to become. And that shift is where everything begins.
Most people never realize this, but the real battle is not outside. It's not the economy. It's not competition. It's not luck. The real battle is between the version of you that wants comfort and the version of you that was born for expansion. Thinking bigger threatens comfort, and comfort fights back. Comfort whispers, why risk what you already have? Why stretch when you're surviving just fine? Why stand out when blending in feels safer? But comfort has never built greatness. It has never shaped leaders. It has never changed history. Every meaningful life is forged in moments where comfort was rejected. Look closely at anyone who commands respect, not attention, but respect. You'll notice something subtle about them. They are not rushed. They are not desperate. They are not constantly explaining themselves. They move from clarity. Clarity is the reward of thinking bigger. When your vision is small, confusion dominates. You overthink every step. You hesitate. You seek validation. But when your vision expands, your mind simplifies. Decisions become cleaner. Priorities sharpen. Noise fades. You stop reacting to life. You start directing it. This is why most people stay stuck even while working hard. They are active but not aligned, busy but not intentional, moving but not advancing. They mistake motion for progress. Dale Carnegie taught that success flows to those who understand people, but before you can understand others, you must understand yourself. And the first truth about yourself is this: you are far more adaptable than you've been told. Human beings were not designed to remain static. We were designed to stretch, to evolve, to outgrow old identities. But society rewards predictability, so it trains you to label yourself early. I'm not good at this. I'm just not that type of person. I'm more realistic. Those labels feel harmless, but they quietly define the boundaries of your future. Thinking bigger requires you to break those labels. It requires you to accept a humbling truth. You don't actually know how capable you are yet. And that realization can either scare you or free you. Because once you accept that your current limits are learned, not fixed, you stop defending them. You stop saying, "That's just how I am," and you start saying, "That's who I used to be." This is where discipline enters. Not discipline as punishment, discipline as self-respect. When you think bigger, your standards rise, not because someone is watching, but because you are. You stop tolerating habits that shrink your energy. You stop feeding thoughts that weaken your confidence. You stop surrounding yourself with voices that normalize mediocrity, not out of arrogance, out of alignment. Because your environment must match your direction. You cannot think bigger while constantly absorbing small thinking. What you watch matters. What you listen to matters. What conversations you entertain matters. Your mind is always being shaped. The only question is, by what? Leaders protect their inner world fiercely, not because they are fragile, but because they understand something most people don't. Your inner world creates your outer results. If your thoughts are scattered, your actions will be scattered. If your beliefs are weak, your execution will hesitate. If your vision is unclear, your effort will feel exhausting. But when your inner world is ordered, your outer world begins to respond. Opportunities appear where chaos once lived. Confidence replaces anxiety. Momentum replaces hesitation. This is not magic, it's cause and effect. Thinking bigger trains you to delay gratification,
to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment, to endure misunderstanding for the sake of mastery. And yes, people will misunderstand you. When you outgrow a room, those who remain comfortable inside it will question your decision to leave. They'll call you unrealistic. They'll say you've changed. They'll remind you of who you used to be. But growth always looks like betrayal to small thinking. You must decide whose opinion carries more weight, the past or the future. Because staying where you are is a decision, and so is becoming more. Every day you are casting a vote for discipline or distraction, a vote for courage or convenience, a vote for expansion or stagnation. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a bigger internal standard. Once that standard is set, your behavior will start rising to meet it. And slowly, almost invisibly, your life will begin to change. Not because the world became easier, but because you became stronger.
Most people wait for confidence before they act, but confidence is not the cause, it is the result. Confidence is born after you do the hard thing, after you speak when your voice shakes, after you choose discipline when motivation disappears, after you keep your word to yourself when no one is watching. Thinking bigger flips the order. You don't wait to feel ready. You decide who you are becoming, and then you act in alignment with that identity. This is how leaders are formed. Not in applause, not in comfort, but in private moments of self-command. Carnegie understood this deeply. He knew that people who influence the world are not louder, they are steadier. Not more aggressive, more grounded. Not more emotional, more intentional. They don't beg for attention. They attract respect, and respect begins with how you treat yourself. If you constantly break promises to yourself, your mind learns not to trust you. If you constantly delay what matters, your confidence quietly erodes. But when you keep small promises, wake up when you said you would, do the work you planned to do, walk away from what weakens you, something powerful happens. Your posture changes, your voice settles, your presence deepens. You don't need to announce growth. People feel it. This is why thinking bigger is uncomfortable at first. It exposes the gap between who you are and who you could be. Most people run from that gap. They numb it with entertainment. They distract it with noise. They silence it with excuses. But that gap is not an enemy. It's an invitation to rise. Every great figure in history lived inside that gap for years. Edison failed publicly while others mocked him. Lincoln lost elections before he led a nation. Ford was ridiculed before he reshaped industry. Disney was told he lacked imagination. None of them were special because they never doubted. They were special because doubt did not decide for them. They thought bigger than their current circumstances. And here's the truth no one tells you. When you think bigger, life tests you harder, not to punish you, but to verify you. Tests reveal commitment. Pressure exposes priorities. When obstacles appear, they ask one question: are you serious or just inspired? This is where most people retreat. They confuse resistance with a sign to stop, but resistance is often confirmation you're moving in the right direction. Comfort rarely resists you. Growth always does. Thinking bigger means accepting delayed rewards. It means working when results are invisible. It means trusting a process before evidence arrives. This is faith, not religious faith, but faith in cause and effect. Faith that effort compounds. Faith that habits shape destiny. Faith that today's discipline becomes tomorrow's freedom. And freedom is the real goal. Not freedom from responsibility, freedom because of responsibility. Freedom to choose your schedule. Freedom to choose your standards. Freedom to choose who has access to your energy. Small thinking seeks escape. Big thinking seeks ownership. Ownership of time. Ownership of focus. Ownership of direction. Once you accept full ownership, blame disappears. No more waiting for permission. No more waiting for motivation. No more waiting for the right time. You become the initiator. And when you initiate consistently, momentum begins to work for you instead of against you. Momentum is quiet at first, almost unnoticeable. But then one day, effort feels lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Opportunities feel closer. That's not luck. That's alignment. Alignment between who you believe you are and how you show up daily. This is the hidden advantage of thinking bigger. Your internal world organizes your external chaos. You stop chasing everything. You start choosing deliberately. And slowly, steadily, the version of you that once felt distant starts to feel inevitable.
There comes a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when you realize the world hasn't changed, but you have. Same streets, same people, same problems, yet you no longer react the same way. Where panic once lived, there is now pause. Where doubt once screamed, there is now discernment. Where urgency once ruled, there is now direction. This is what thinking bigger does. It doesn't change your environment first, it changes your interpretation of it. And interpretation determines behavior. Behavior determines outcomes. Most people are controlled by impulses they never question. They react to moods. They follow habits they didn't choose. They obey fears they didn't examine. But when you think bigger, you become a witness to your own mind. You observe before you obey. You choose before you act. You respond instead of react. This is mastery. Carnegie believed the strongest people were not those who dominated others, but those who governed themselves. Self-command creates calm. Calm creates clarity. Clarity creates power. This is why presence matters more than volume, why silence often carries more authority than noise, why the person who speaks last often carries the most weight. They are not rushed, they are not desperate, they are anchored. Thinking bigger slows you down internally, even when life speeds up externally. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable, not out of arrogance, but out of respect for your own trajectory. And here's the shift that changes everything. You stop asking, "What will people think?" and you start asking, "What will this cost me if I don't act?" That question sharpens priorities, because regret is heavier than effort, and potential wasted is the most exhausting burden of all. You were not designed to merely cope. You were designed to contribute. But contribution demands courage. Courage to be misunderstood. Courage to be early. Courage to stand alone before standing out. Every meaningful path begins lonely. The crowd gathers later, after results speak. Thinking bigger means accepting seasons where discipline replaces applause. You wake up early while others sleep. You refine skills while others scroll. You invest while others consume. Not because you're better, but because you're committed. And commitment compounds quietly. One decision at a time, one focused hour at a time, one resisted temptation at a time. This is how inner standards are built. And inner standards always create outer success. When your standards rise, your tolerance for mediocrity falls. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop romanticizing procrastination. You stop calling avoidance rest. Rest restores, avoidance erodes. Thinking bigger teaches you the difference. You rest with intention and return with intensity. And slowly, something undeniable forms around you. Consistency. Consistency is rare, and rarity creates value. People trust what's consistent. They follow what's stable. They respect what endures. This is why greatness feels calm, not chaotic. Why leaders feel grounded, not frantic. Why influence feels natural, not forced. It all started with a single decision: to think beyond immediate comfort, to act beyond current identity, to believe beyond visible evidence. That decision rewired everything.
There is a quiet confidence that forms when you no longer need permission. You don't announce your plans. You don't argue with doubters. You don't seek approval from people who have never built anything themselves. You move. And movement, done long enough, creates gravity. People start to feel your presence before you speak. They sense your direction before you explain. Not because you're loud, but because you're aligned. This is the invisible advantage of thinking bigger. You stop living fragmented. Your thoughts, actions, and values begin to point in the same direction. That alignment is rare, and rarity commands respect. Dale Carnegie understood this deeply. People are drawn to certainty, not perfection. Certainty doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you are committed to finding them. It means when you fall forward. When you fail, you extract the lesson. When you're tested, you don't retreat, you refine. This is how pressure becomes polish. Most people want ease, but ease never introduced anyone to their higher self. Resistance does. Resistance reveals who you are willing to become. And once you accept that growth feels uncomfortable, you stop interpreting discomfort as danger. You welcome it as evidence. Evidence that you're stretching beyond the familiar. Evidence that you're leaving the old version behind. Evidence that you are no longer thinking small. Thinking bigger rewrites your relationship with fear. Fear stops being a stop sign. It becomes a signal that something meaningful is on the other side. And instead of asking, what if it doesn't work, you ask, what if this is exactly what I've been preparing for? That question changes posture. It straightens the spine. It sharpens the eyes. It steadies the voice. You stop shrinking your goals to fit your confidence and start expanding your confidence to meet your goals. This is inner leadership, and inner leadership always precedes outer impact. History proves this. Lincoln was doubted before he was trusted. Edison was mocked before he was admired. Disney was dismissed before he was remembered. None of them waited to feel ready. They moved while uncertain, but committed. That's the difference. Commitment creates momentum. Momentum silences doubt, and doubt fades when results begin to speak. Thinking bigger doesn't guarantee instant success. It guarantees irreversible growth. You may move slower than others at first, but you move deeper, stronger, with intention. And one day, without announcement, you realize you've crossed a line most people never reach. You no longer chase motivation. You operate on identity. This is who I am now. This is how I move. This is what I tolerate and what I don't. That identity becomes your anchor in chaos, your compass in confusion, your strength when enthusiasm fades. Because motivation is emotional, identity is permanent. And once identity locks in, effort feels natural. You don't force discipline, you express it. You don't seek growth, you embody it. You don't hope for change, you become it. There comes a moment when effort stops feeling heavy. Not because the work disappeared, but because you became stronger than it. You look back and barely recognize the person who once hesitated, who waited for confidence, who searched for signs. That version needed permission. You don't. You've learned that clarity is not found, it is forged. That belief is not given, it is built. That greatness is not sudden, it is stacked, day by day, choice by choice. Thinking bigger didn't change your circumstances first, it changed you. Your standards rose, your excuses lost power, your time became intentional. You stopped negotiating with comfort. And quietly, something extraordinary happened. The world began to respond. Opportunities appeared where obstacles once lived. People listened when you spoke, even when you said less. Your presence carried weight, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. This is what happens when inner alignment meets sustained action. You no longer rush, you no longer compare, you no longer explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You move with patience, but not passivity, with humility, but not hesitation, with confidence, not arrogance. This is mature power, and it's rare. Most people spend their lives reacting. You chose to design. Most people wait for the right moment. You became the moment. Most people shrink their dreams to match their fear. You expanded your mind to outrun it. And now, whether the world applauds or stays silent, you keep moving. Because the reward was never applause. The reward was becoming someone you respect. Someone who finishes. Someone who stands firm. Someone who thinks bigger even when no one is watching. This is the quiet victory. The kind that doesn't need proof. The kind that doesn't fade. The kind that compounds. So, if you ever feel the pull to go back, remember this feeling. Remember the strength you forged. Remember the discipline you earned. Remember the vision that carried you when motivation couldn't. And choose again. Not because it's easy, not because it's guaranteed, but because this is who you are now. You don't think small anymore. You don't live small anymore. You don't see small anymore. You think bigger, or you don't move at all.
This channel isn't for everyone. It's for those who choose discipline over excuses.